Put on your gloves, touch them up. Let's get into it. Fights to make after UFC Serbia. Beautiful card. Let's just get straight into it. Noah Gugnan versus Axel Sola. I like this matchup a lot. Sola just won on the last fight night. Both guys winning by submission. Sola's a good kickboxer, good footwork, sharp combinations, and he's disciplined. I like when he uses his distance to his advantage. Was very impressed with that last week. Obviously, we just seen Noah get a submission against Milos Janic. Wasted no time getting to the ground. Not a bad striker at all, but this guy seems like he's a pretty well-rounded fighter. Um, how I think this fight would go, though, I think Solo would get it done, use the jab and calf kicks. Noah's younger. Both guys are kind of young yet in their careers. Um, but I think Axel Solo would have the advantage through the whole fight. I think Noah would try to get in the pocket and fight with Axel Solo. I don't think Solo would allow that to happen. I think he stays at range using his kickboxing to his advantage. And I think by the second round, Noah's tried everything that he can, grappling, the clinch. I think he gets a few good strikes off, but I don't see him winning this fight. I think this is a good fight to make. Uh, I don't like throwing Axel Sola down that far, but I do want to see more from Noah Gugnan. Both guys, I believe they're both French. I'm pretty sure. So I don't know if that plays a factor or not. I don't know if they train together. I have no clue. But two French guys going at it, why not, dude? Next up, Gilbert Urbina. I think he should fight Marc-Andre Barrios. Gilbert Urbina, we just seen him have a pretty very well performance against um, I forgot. But yeah, Gilbert Urbina, he had a great performance. I think this would be a good fight to make. See some grappling go on because both these guys are pretty solid grapplers. Submission threats there for both guys. Marc Andre is a pretty good volume with his strikes. He can stay comfortable at a high pace. Recently, he hasn't looked good, and that's why I wanna test Urbina because this would be his second fight in the UFC at middleweight. Um, so I think this would be a really close fight, and I see it going to decision. But I think Gilbert Urbina doesn't come out as crazy against a guy like Barrio. I think he throws a few low kicks, looks for the level change here and there. But Barrio will increase the pace as the fight goes on. I think it gets past the first round. I think Urbina starts to slow down after constant pressure, but I think the heavy hands of Marc-Andre Barrio would be able to get it done. Hooks to the body, elbows in the clinch, and I just think Mark Barrio could get a win here. Um, I think he's on a three-fight skid right now. Maybe it's two fights, but I think this is a winnable fight for Marc-Andre Barrio. But I also think it's a winnable fight for Gilbert Urbina too. So I would like to see this fight. Let me know what you think about this fight, though. Next up, Robert Valentin. I think Robert Valentin should just get Brad Tavares out of here. Brad Tavares he's like 38. Dude's pushing 40. Um, Valentin really dominant performance last week. Uh, he's got some striking to the game. We know this. But dude, you can't forget Brad Tavares, guy. This guy is like super experienced in the UFC, bunch of losses, but he does have a pretty good jab. The takedown defense is there. He's a vet, so um, I could see this being a good fight. Maybe Valentin struggles a little bit, but I think Brad Tavares would start off aggressively, um, throwing some calf kicks here and there, looking for some combinations. But I think Robert Valentin stays composed, very defensively sound. And I think Robert Valentin will just have the bigger moments in this fight. I feel like he could show off some more of the striking against Brad Tavares. It's been a rough one for Brad Tavares lately. I think Valentin gets him in the clinch, throws some good elbows, brings him to the ground. I think Tavares gets really uncomfortable on the ground, and then Valentin ends up getting I'm gonna say an arm triangle in the second round. Brad Tavares just he's got to get out, dude. I don't. This guy's old. He doesn't look old in this picture, but he's old, trust me. I think this is an older picture I grabbed too, but it could be interesting. I don't know. I underrated Robert Valentin last week, but could be a good fight. But I think Robert Valentin would get it done by second round arm triangle. Next up, Rakic. I think Rakic should fight down a little bit up against Brando Pericic. Um, I don't like this matchup for Rakic at all. I think Pericic is on a. I would like heavily favor Pericic in this fight. Um, this guy's on like 3 fights in the UFC and 3 TKOs. Um, I think Rakic would start off strong, use some calf kicks, long rangey strikes, but Pericic just with constant pressure, looking to land hard shots the whole time. Like this dude, he's got power, man. This guy has power. If you haven't watched Brando Pericic, you gotta watch this guy because he is a force to be reckoned with, and I think he could be a top 10 heavyweight in the UFC. Um, but I do think Rakic would have momentum in the first round, and he would take the first. But second round, I think Pericic starts off slower. Rakic hits him a couple times, but instead of waiting at the kicking range, you just got to crash into the pocket, just dirty box the guy, dude. Because Rakic needs to use that range to his advantage. If you can get in the pocket with Rakic, you need to do it. And I think that's exactly what he does. I think Pericic gets him up against the fence. He throws some combinations, hurts him to the body, and ends up getting the TKO. Uh, Rakic, really boring fight yesterday. Uh, yeah, I think Brando Pericic is a force to be reckoned with, and I think this is a great fight to make. You could see if Rakic is actually a good heavyweight contender. I don't think he will be that good, but like you just beat Marcin Tybura, dude. Like that's not saying a whole lot. Tybura's he's not like he used to be, man. So I would take Pericic by second round TKO. Maybe he'll prove me wrong again though, but this dude just got his first win since 2021, so I don't know. Navajo Sterling. I was saving for this one just in case Navajo Sterling won. I'm putting Navajo Sterling up against Paulo Costa. Um, this is a really, really good fight. Um, I like this a lot for both guys. Paulo Costa looks great at light heavyweight, beating Mirzakhanov. Uh, he just this guy. A lot of people dog on Paulo Costa, but he's lost to like some good competition. Like he lost to Strickland. He lost bad to Strickland though. It was like 50-45s all the way around. I'm pretty sure, but he has some losses that aren't bad. Like obviously to Adesanya, he had a pretty poor performance against what's his name, Vittori. So, and then there's one more. I don't remember, but they're not the worst losses in the world. But I think Navajo Sterling would start off using the length. Very smart of him to do in this last fight he had against Jan Blachowicz, even though Jan did knock him down. Just saying. Um, Mix in the calf kicks. I think Paulo Costa stays composed. Um, and then eventually, I think Navajo Sterling dominates a lot of the first round. I think we'd see some ground game in the beginning, but I think it'd be a back and forth striking battle for the most part. A little bit of ground game, but then in the second round, I think Paulo Costa finds his range, um, slips some jabs, start getting into that range. Some hooks, body shots would be great against a tall guy like that. And I think Paulo Costa would get it done, dude. I think Navajo Sterling's legit. I can't deny it anymore. That was a amazing performance. As much as I don't like the guy, maybe I will someday, but uh, right now I don't like the guy. But he did have a very impressive performance against Jan Blachowicz. The guy's still young. Paulo Costa it's kind of looking up for him. This light heavyweight move for him could have been the right call. But I don't know. I could swing maybe in the future if they make this fight. I think this is the fight to make. Like, I really would rather see Magomed fight Khalil Roundtree. I don't want to see Khalil Roundtree fight Navajo Sterling because I think Navajo Sterling would win that pretty easily. I think Khalil would gas out so quick against Navajo Sterling because I just think Navajo Sterling would piece him up like crazy, and then Khalil Roundtree's just gonna sit there throwing power. You know how he does? He like sits there like bundled up, and then he'll start just swinging like crazy, just hoping and praying. Um, so I like Paulo Costa in this fight. As of right now, I think he cuts off the cage instead of chasing Navajo Sterling. Work on the body, use the close range boxing, and he obviously has more experience in the UFC. He's 35 years old. That's not super old. He's getting up there, but obviously, you could have a resurgence. So, yeah, I think Paulo Costa would get the second round TKO. Um, for the main event, this beautiful man right here, dude. Beautiful man. I want him to face off against Gabriel Bonfim. Now, you're looking at this like, what are you, stupid? Give him Jack Della. Like, I'm not giving him Jack because Jack's been kind of screwed his last two fights. I want to give him something favorable. Um, so, like, I think Medic would, I think he'd run through JDM. I do. So, and people forget, dude. Gabriel Bonfim's like top six, top five in the UFC now after his win against Bilal. And he is a good overall, well-rounded fighter. Bonfim is, and it's really elite striker versus a very good grappler. And I'm favoring Medic in this one, but you can't doubt Bonfim, dude. He is dangerous on the ground. He did look really good against Bilal. He used all of his techniques he needed. He's got an arsenal, so it's not like this guy's just like a one-dimensional fighter. He can do a lot. But I think Medic would come out with a huge advantage. We've seen the power, dude. This guy's got a lot of power. I don't know where it's coming from. Like I said, dude, this guy doesn't look like someone with a whole boatload of power, but holy cow, does he have power? Um, I just think um, the power advantage from Euros Medic would be too much for Bonfim, and I would expect a first round finish. I think Bonfim's biggest weapon is being able to drag someone to the ground, and I want to see that from Euros Medic. I want to see how he can deal with that adversity because it's been a while since we seen him get submitted. I think I don't remember who it was against, but I know it was Miktabek Oralbai he got submitted against. Um, so if Bonfim can drag him to the ground, I think he has a chance. But right now, it's recency bias. Right now, I think Medic would win. He's looked amazing recently. Not a lot of people like Bonfim, including myself, but he is a good fighter. He can really do it all. I just think Medic would land the harder shots, good combinations, and like I said, dude, you get into the pocket with Euros Medic, it's over. He throws a three-piece, four-piece combo, it's over. And I think that pressure um, from Euros Medic can scare Bonfim. Like he won't try to get the takedown. So I just see Medic head hunting. Sometimes that doesn't work in the UFC. Sometimes it does. So yeah, those are my fights to make after UFC Belgrade, Serbia. Um, yeah, dude, great card this coming week. I know we're all excited for Quillen Salkild to come back and Mateus Gamrot. I got some thinking to do about that one. I'm not 100% on everything, but a really trash card. Just looking at it, go look at the card, dude. It's trash. You see Gamrot and Salkild. Salkild's a huge name in lightweight right now after the last knockout he got, so we'll be doing breakdowns on that later this week, but really trash card. We still don't know what's on the card for UFC Serbia or Serbia UFC 331. A lot of people are speculating, saying it's already done, that it's going to be Pantoja and Van and Oliveira Sarukian, but I'm not making anything until the UFC comes out with it for sure. So those are the fights to make. Thanks for watching. Like and subscribe.